I'm doing it for my daughter.
Speaking of flipping, we got Jay Studley. Any good house flipping stories post 2008 recession? I was in high school and my friends and I would throw parties at foreclosed houses and trash the place.
Fair.
Never. Man. I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
I don't do any shit like that.
Yeah, the guys that were older than us, though, they got in on flipping like you wouldn't believe. Oh, yeah. It was like we were young. We were a little too young for that.
That must have sucked. To be like a subprime guy who's flipping houses thinking
before the crash, man, you're flipping.
Oh, that happened to you?
Oh, I bought my first one. I was 20 when I bought my first one, and then I flipped a condo and made 50. So I thought I was Don Trump.
Oh,
then I bought two when I was.
We need to bring back Manhattan.
Yeah.
So I was like this. Watch me do this. And I called Kiplinger's magazine, and I did this thing called mortgage fraud. No, so I had I sold mortgages at my boy's thing, and I bought two houses at once. So I was approved for $350, but my boy's like, you're approved at Chase for $350. You're also approved at, let's just say, J.P. Morgan for $350. But they don't talk to each other.
That's $750.
This is like some owning Mahoney.
Yeah. So he's like,
watch Owning Mahoney. If you're watching this live stream, watch Owning Mahoney. $350.
So I did that. So I bought two houses close.
You can't lose.
He's like, Nick, you're a landscaper making. He goes, I just thought about this. Do you have a pen? He goes, I just found out your income. Your income is
lots. Big.
$275,000 a year. So $350,000 houses times 2 is literally nothing for a guy like you. It's called no doc stated income.
Yeah, no docs. Yeah.
So I did no doc loans.
They're trying to bring them back like they're cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'll go
DSR loans or like
dude.
DS something.
Yeah.
I forget what the they're called.
They always get tricky at times like this.
Yeah.
I talked to a dude. He said, we'll do no docs. And I was like, it's back. And then I was like, it's about to crash.
Yeah. That's always like writing on the wall.
Yeah.
My mortgage broker bought my condo from me in the middle of the night, all coked out. Shows up on my thing. And literally, like, I was having trouble. Calls me at 11:30. He comes in. He's like, Rochefort, are you at your condo? I bought this condo from like a Goomba friend. It was like they were turning apartments into condos. A 1-bedroom condo on the ocean at Ocean 40. It was really nice. I paid $129. He goes, I'll give you $180. 11 o'clock at night. I'm literally fucked up. I can barely afford it.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug, bro.
I'll give you $189 for this thing right now. And I was like, done.
Everything's for sale.
Done. I was literally packing my shit. Called me the next day. He's like, Rochefort, I can't give you fucking 60,000 bucks profit. It just doesn't make sense to me. He's like, I'll give you 50,000 profit. I go, still done. I sell it. I get $52,000. I had a check. I was 21. I was like 21 when it closed. It was like my birthday. I flew right to Los Angeles. I was like, yeah, this is the shit. I flew my brother out. I spent like 10 grand right away. I came back. I bought 2 houses with 10 grand down. I closed on the same day. So they didn't report to each other. Now I have $800,000 in debt.
Are we talking like 06?
Like 06, 07.
All right, yeah.
I thought I was so smart. I called Kiplinger's magazine. I was like this. I figured out a fucking...
What's that? What is that?
It was like a Forbes.
Okay, all right.
I was like, I'm the smartest kid in Rhode Island.
You might want to talk to me.
I'm on a job site.
30 under 30.
Kiplinger calls me back. And they're like, hi, we're here to talk to you, Nick, about the real estate move that he made. I'm like, yeah, check this out. They don't report to each other's credit union. The guy goes, yeah, you're doing mortgage fraud. And I'm like this. Forget I said anything. Nothing ever happened. I was literally like, nothing ever happened.
They don't care,
I foreclosed on one, fucked my life up. One, I got a loan modification.
What happened?
So at one point, you're 800 in debt.
800,000.
But you don't have remotely the income to touch it.
Exactly.
Right.
So I rented one out, and then I stayed in one.
And they wonder why the economy fell apart.
Yeah. The strippers got stiffed completely for like, I held on it for like a year and a half. One got a loan modification where basically I owed $375. The bank said, now you only owe me $275. It was a commercial piece and it had this weird building on it, kind of like a crab shack, but it was I ran my landscaping company out of it. This electrician comes along at one of my yard sales that I was having. He goes, I'll give you $375 for this place right now. I said, sold. My dad was running through some shit with town, and I didn't get the money from that one. And then I foreclosed on the other one. My credit went to complete shit. Complete shit. My cousin, I started selling Acuras. He pulled my credit report. He goes, Nick, this is the worst credit.
What was it?
It was like 414.
All right, no,
he goes, this is like criminal. He's like, this is, you have to like work hard to get it this
let me
low.
tell you, I did nothing, right? I did nothing. Never
You didn't
had
get
anything.
Oh,
Never
yeah.
had
Oh, no
credit.
credit is
right.
nothing. Yeah.
And tried, and I fucked up on the little things I had.
Yeah, like a Victoria's
and
Secret
I had a
card.
385.
TV from Best Buy.
Yeah. And that what?
I had 385.
Yeah, that
So the fact that I caused no damage, dude.
Yeah, and you were a criminal.
And I'm 385, and you're in the
Haul you to
fucking
jail.
forest.
We used to call them credit criminals.
Yeah.
Like, they're gonna haul you to jail for credit this bad.
Never had a fucking thing.
It took 24 months of me being.
I was trying to get shit from Best Buy.
And they were like, "You
Best Buy
piece of
credit
shit!" They're like,
Yeah.
"Up here, loser! What are you shopping for, scumbag?"
Put yourself up by
They're
your
on their heads on,
bootstraps.
they're like, no, he's white.
Not here, pal. Right through the door. You're like the guy with his feet on the table at casino.
Home Depot credit cards can get away
Oh,
from
yeah.
it quick.
Yeah.
No, they get you pretty bad. It took 24 months of me paying I did one letter. 4 years later, literally, I did the sorry letter. Some guy in Denver was like, "Give me $99. I fix your credit." One of my boys did it through the card business. He goes, "Do this." I was a 700 in 3 years.
It's fake, dude.
It's fake.
It's fake.
Fake news.
Yeah.
Donated to
buying
some
houses.
rabbi.
Yeah, I bought a ski car. I had a credit card.
Credit's fixed.
You do a secured credit card where
It's
you basically put your own money on.
These Lubavitches are stealing off of mitzvahs.
That is crazy that that's a thing.
It is crazy.
Like if credit was for real and no one could fix it, I would almost respect it.
right. If it had any weight. You know what I mean? But it's. I mean, now.
As a teal guy, what are your thoughts,
love
bro?
aquamarine.
Bill's loving that.
I love teal.
the
Funny,
aquamarine.
brothers just said that same thing. Really?
I don't like that color. That color's kind of like almost Nickelodeon.
What's the color that you've seen that made you nuts?
teal?
Teal.
And
Just
this is from
gentle
Sean
aquamarine.
Crane.
We got Yep with 40 Australian dollars. Hi Sam, I have a good job that I enjoy with a decent salary of 100K.
Good for you!
I have 50K savings that I want to turn into real money.
Burn it!
What are your thoughts on ETFs or any other
Fuck 'em!
ideas to put my money? I
401k!
already have 10K in Bitcoin.
Get the money when you're 900 years old!
I cannot. I don't think I can give. I think it's probably. I can't give financial advice.
Yeah, should we change the chat to only
All financial advice?
No.
I will say. Listen. I'll say this. I say. I've put and I'll continue to put all my money into Bitcoin.
Bitcoin?
And I think conceptually, I am. Important things are Michael Saylor talking about Amazon stock. I'll just briefly encapsulate. Here we go, right here. Michael Saylor talks about Apple stock in 2012, and his point, what he's talking about, he's talking about stocks, companies, technologies, whatever, where there's S-curve adoption. And what S-curve adoption is, you start down here at zero. It stays very close to zero. It's almost nothing. There's almost no activity. You've got a little bit of activity with early adopters, and then once the thing is proven, whatever, you have this growth that looks like exponential growth, and then what it does is at the top it tapers off. That's why it's called an S curve, like this. It tapers off once the niche has been filled. Like once everybody who could possibly ever own an iPhone has an iPhone, your niche has been filled. And yes, there's like 1 billion people in Africa who don't have iPhones, but it's like if we were to like the distance between right now and everybody in Africa having an iPhone, that distance time-wise and also the amount of like income that would create is not really, it's not the same as Apple's run up from the beginning to now, which and what Michael Saylor talks about a lot is in those early phases. I mean, right now Michael Saylor, he's like a Bitcoin evangelist, which I'm not saying to go watch his Bitcoin videos. His videos of him prior to Bitcoin talking about Apple, Amazon, tech investing, etc., are really worth looking into if you want to know about where you might want to put your money, okay? His non-Bitcoin videos are very illuminating as well. Okay, I'll say that. When people when people were looking at Amazon stock in 2009 or whatever, they were looking at Apple stock in 2012. They were looking at Bitcoin now and a few years ago. They were looking at this volatility, and volatility, like if the product is an obvious, what Peter Thiel calls a 0 to 1 product, like it's 0 to 1 means 0, there's none of it in the world. 1 is the invention of the first iteration of it in the world. And like globalism is focused on going from 1 to 100, taking the iPhone that already exists and duplicating it 100 times so that everybody in China can have one. That's 1 to 100. That's globalism. But like actual innovation is 0 to 1. Is thinking of where there's. I'm sorry for rambling with this. Whatever. This is what you're interested in anyway. Fuck was I saying? Oh yeah. So going from where there's nothing to where there's something, that's where the actual innovation takes place. And when that innovation happens, when you go from 0 to 1, there's always volatility because the market is trying to figure out like how legit the thing is, what it's worth, etc. But there's a period where to insiders and even to laymen, even to laymen with enough kind of like layman knowledge in various fields to piece together the truth, there's a period where it's obvious there is a clear category winner, but the market is still fucking around trying to figure out who the clear category winner is. But to anybody who knows how a fucking computer works, it's obvious that the iPod beats the Zune, and you'd have to have an MBA and be a professional investor to be enough to think that the Zune beats the iPod, and that's where there's volatility. And what the problem with volatility is, people try to time the volatility, and they think they're geniuses. Like people look at the price of Bitcoin or Apple stock or whatever, and they say, whatever Apple stock was at. Let's see, Apple stock 2010. Is there a chart for this? So people will be like, they'll be like right here, 280, and they'll be using their past history. They'll be like, they'll see that it's at an all-time high, and they'll just go like, it's almost like a fucking, it's the way a fruit vendor looks at the way things should be priced. Mm-hmm. Like these plums, you're telling me $45 for a plum? This doesn't make sense. Apple stock 280, but it was 200 a year ago. It was only 200 a year ago. Why would it be 280? And then, I mean, now the market cap. So after multiple splits, if you had invested in 2010, Apple stock in 2010, calculate what it's worth, or Apple market cap 2010. So you would have 10x'd your market cap now. Yeah, so if you had just bought in 2010 when it was at the market cap was 300 billion, now the market cap is 3 trillion, you would have 10x'd your money. But it's hard to do that at the time when the stock's going like this and you're thinking, "Oh, I'll buy." This is not interesting to people. What was the question? What should he do with his money? I can't give you financial advice. All my money goes directly into Bitcoin.
Yep.
And the other person that I think is conceptually correct a lot of the time is the meme lady, Cathie Wood, and her notion, which I don't think has yet to play out yet. I don't know how people who've bought ARK Invest have done, but her idea is that there are 5 revolutionary technologies, and that the synergy between these 5 revolutionary technologies will have a sort of magnitude of it as along the same lines as the last time there was a synergy of revolutionary technologies, which would have been like steam engine, rail transport, and whatever. If you watch her videos about Cathie Wood's technologies, but yeah, you're gonna have to search for it. But that's her idea, is that AI, gene editing, blockchain, and there's two other things that she talks about that the synergy between these things is going to absorb a lot of money, which I think conceptually makes sense to me. Although I don't think her ARK Invest ETF is doing well, but I haven't checked in a year, so I don't know.
We got your Liz friend with $20. Hi, Sam.
And sorry, that was a big waste of time, guys. I know that was kind of rambling here. I was supposed to be playing fucking Fallout.
But let's figure out what they paid for it.
It's tough out there right now. They might take it.
Go low,
It's not
bro.
you're gonna get grounded if you throw a low ball.
Billy's an extreme low ball guy.
Yeah,
0-2 for 123.
they made their money.
Yeah, they're fine. Maybe they'll get off it. Hey, listen, you don't know until
0-2
you
for
try.
123, dude, with a paint job? That's
Yeah.
a paint job, dude. They don't even have kitchen cabinets.
They put a metal roof on it.
You're buying a location.
You owe them all
I
money.
hear you on that.
The Crab Shack, the location has gone up significantly.
Now, I got a question for you. When it says pending, does that mean someone's got it locked
Someone's
in?
got
yeah,
it.
someone's got it. Yeah, you're locked in. If it goes pending, that means there's a.
What is
purchase-
is there a
purchase
difference
sale
between that and under contract?
Same. It's pretty much the same thing.
Same thing?
They do have an out. You know, at like if they don't get financing, it could be subject to seller finance, subject to owner financing. They could back out. They could not have the money. It could be a contract
Yes.
where they accept the number, but they don't like the terms. But that's usually hashed out before they sign purchase and sales. It's basically like before we shake hands. Do you have anything to sell? No. Do you have this much money? Yes. Are you pre-approved for this much money? Yes.
I've seen a lot of shit where I see it go under contract, and all the shit I want so fucked up, there's no financing.
Well, yeah.
And then I sit there and I go, wait till I get in there.
All cash buy, all cash finance. You can do hard money, guys, with that, and there's a lot of money. Like the hard
Can we
money.
talk about that
streets
on this
are-
podcast, or do we want to do after podcast?
What's that?
I want to know about how the hard money world.
The hard money used to be a really
hard money
it used to be
world
like
is a
15-3 and all these
Yeah.
terms, like 15%, 3
Yeah.
points. Now it's
Used to be
30%, 10-2. Basically,
They're trying to do better than investing.
It's honestly, Matt, exactly.
Yeah.
Like if you had money, okay, you got a lot of guys that made $3 million, $4 million, and they're sitting there and they're going like this, and they don't know what to do with it. Guys that just straight up don't know what to do. Put your money in the stock market 2 years ago. What's it at now? And they go, ooh, that hurts. I'm done doing this. I'm not a stock guy. I never was. I never relied on it.
Give
And
it to
I tried.
guys like us.
And then right now, honestly, I'm not lying.
We're
there is
bet
so
on us.
much money
Bet
in the
on
streets.
us, dude.
But you gotta you're on a clock.
Oh yeah.
So you're paying all juice. It's all juice, so you're on a
All
clock. So you
interest
have
payments.
to
All juice.
take a non-legitimate piece of property, make it legitimate in the eyes of the bank in this amount of time.
It's the
however long
hustle.
it takes you. It's that hustle.
And then you're just paying someone else again because you're paying the bank.
And then you take the bank's money and pay back, Johnny Baloney. And then when Johnny Baloney's fine, it's fine, but you got to work quick.
We've tried to talk about this so many times to people where it's like all these people want to be like, I own 60 spots and stuff. It's like, dude, you're better off owning 5
When
outright.
you talk to us,
Yeah.
it sounds
Like, why
real.
the fuck
When
would
we
you do
talk to fucking dudes in Philly, they're like faking it. You know what I mean?
like
it's like
refi, like what's it
the
called?
guy, they
Burr
don't
method
make
and
it make
stuff.
sense.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, what
It's
are
like
you talking
coked out
about?
realtors.
Yeah, they're like, I'm like, what are you
There's
talking
no
about?
money after they
No
you
shit.
can't-
You just owe more money.
Yeah. They're like, that is where you win. And I'm like,
I'm making $50 an apartment right now.
And if
There was a
if
thing-
it goes vacant for 6 months or 2 months,
Yeah.
what happens then? My whole metric, they don't lie. They lie about the metric. They lie about the upkeep. The boiler fails. They lie about the time they got stiffed. They lie about the time they got sued. They lie about the time
They
got
never
sli-
talk about
When
the
they
loss.
when the interest rates were low, they were like, we can line you up for 10 mortgages. Right now, I'd be fucked with 10 mortgages. You know what I mean? And it was like, we can get you 10.
If you
and
bought it.
if I bought it all that, yeah.
Because you were paying stupid prices.
all
Yeah.
those people who have real low interest rates, right, and they still want to sell, people should get hip
What's
to
the point of them selling?
owner financing.
So you can assume their loan.
No, I'm saying like if you were like, say you're a guy who wants to sell a house.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not moving because of interest rates. Why not just go a little lower and you finance the fucking house to the person you're
Because
selling
they want
for?
the money because they're selfish.
They want the
pigs.
money,
They
yeah.
want
Yeah,
the
that's
big
what I'm
chunk.
saying.
Piggy,
They're not long term.
If you
It's more money.
If you
No.
ever can get your price and your terms on an owner finance, you should take it.
Oh, yeah.
I did. We drove past the house. I was gonna do one. The guy was like, I lost it to another guy who took the guy, and then he rented it out. It was so embarrassing. Imagine owner financing through valuations of going, yeah, no problem, asshole. You want $1,500 a month? No problem. It's for rent for $1,600 a month. I just made free. And I watched him do it, and I called the guy back.
Disgusting.
Hey, what happened with the rental? I was gonna put my mom in there. You dumb piece of shit.
That is disgusting behavior.
It's the most disgusting behavior. And it was a rich guy who did it. He lied. He's like, he's putting his wife in there.
It's weird how they don't like to lose on anything, dude.
It's
crazy.
The boomers, if you can do an owner finance is always a red flag.
Yeah.
Always a red flag. It means it's too much money.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, sure, I'll sell you this place for $1.5 million.
But everything's too much money right now.
And it's like, yeah, no shit you would. How about $835 owner finance? They're like, no, that's not what I said.
Yeah, I didn't know there was like early payoff fees and stuff like that. Like that shit's
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
For like mortgages, like you have to pay more money because you paid it off.
Yeah, prepayment penalty.
Yeah.
You can do the one extra payment a quarter, and you can shave 14 years off you. You can turn a 30-year term into a 14-year if you want to pay. You just throw an extra quarter, and you have to apply to principal and stuff like that. I do that.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I do that. I borrow on higher margin than that. I don't know why.